Don Le Batard.
Texter writes in, Stugatz looks homeless today. If I saw him walking down Ocean Drive, I would give him $5.
Stugatz.
Thank you.
This is the Don Le Batard Show with the Stugatz on ESPN Radio.
I was lying on the grass a Sunday morning of last week, indulging in my self-defeat. My mind was like Dolly's.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Dave Ovalle going to join us here in just a second on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Wrote a very interesting story in the Miami Herald. Here's your SportsCenter update. The Cubs won the World Series last night as they took Game 7, 8-7 over the Indians. 10 innings. Ben Zobrist, World Series MVP. Cubs' first World Series championship since 1908. The Philadelphia Eagles have released wide receiver Josh Huff. And finally, according to the Washington Post, ranch dressing is what's wrong with America. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
So the headline in the Miami Herald was, mangled penis leads to 40 months in prison for woman who performed illegal surgery. And he has a way of writing these stories. And as I said, Miami has a way of producing them. So thank you for joining us. Give us how it is that you happened upon this story, David.
Well, I always call Miami's criminal court the best theater in all of South Florida, and just happened to be in the hallway, and one of the prosecutors said, "Hey, you need to check out this hearing." And this was a couple weeks ago with another doctor who had been arrested as part, a former doctor who had been arrested as part of this same case. And lo and behold, it's just this bizarre case where this poor guy got, and it actually went on for more than a year. He gets the surgery, and it kind of doesn't go well in the first go around, and for like a year he's dealing with his mangled junk, and then he keeps getting different creams, and they keep giving him all this different stuff, and then a year later he ends up doing the second surgery to try to fix it, and that one didn't go so well either, and then they ended up arresting the two doctors fake doctors because he could no longer perform and all kinds of other issues.
All right, hold on a second. I've got only a million questions, so just give me a second.
Seriously.
All right. First of all, and try and keep it as clean as you can, but the first surgery that he was going in for was what, enlargement?
Yeah, the first one was an enlargement. Now, mind you, with the same woman who used to be his facial lady, he had actually done some surgeries with like a butt enhancement and also like a chin enhancement, all done in like a warehouse in Hialeah. And this woman's not a doctor; she's just like a facial lady. And I think she might have had some medical training in Colombia, of course. And then he's like, oh well, let's make my penis bigger. So he does the surgery, and that one didn't go so well. So then it kind of just all spiraled from there.
Okay, so what are we talking about? What were the issues and again, be careful if you can, what were the issues that came upon this man in the botched surgery?
Well, there was a lot, but gosh, let's see, how do I dance around this? A lot of it was, bleeding, skin was raw, fluid back up. He couldn't urinate or get, aroused. I mean, there was just all kinds of problems, man. And it was, let me tell you, I've covered a lot of weird things in my career, but it was I couldn't even, I was cringing and just like squirming in my seat listening to this stuff in court, and also when I was reading the court documents.
So we were talking once about the Fix-A-Flat doctor. I think it was Pebbles the model. I think she was doing surgery on somebody with Fix-A-Flat. I might be confusing my pop culture stories. Regardless,
I'm on it.
It was a butt enhancement with Fix-A-Flat. What was she putting into the penis?
It wasn't Fix-A-Flat. It was like this. It's probably like a silicone type of filler that I guess is pretty widely used in Colombia. And a lot of people go down to Colombia for it. But then when they need it done cheaper, then they do it here in people's houses and warehouses and random fake clinics.
But Dave, you agree he probably should have had concerns when he walked into a warehouse as opposed to a doctor's office.
That's sort of the universal reaction. But I think it's normally like $500. I think he might have paid $1,000 for the second surgery to try to fix it. And I think I was kind of researching it last night, and I think it can run you like $10,000 to $13,000 for the real procedure to make it bigger and longer and thicker. So that's kind of what I guess. Yeah, it's just cheaper.
Wait a minute. This doctor told the man to tie 2 popsicle sticks to his penis to keep it straight while it healed?
Yeah, man. And he's like, so this other doctor, the second guy who got arrested, used to be a plastic surgeon, and he'd actually, this is not the first patient penis mangling that's he's been involved with. There was another one in the 90s that got him in trouble, and ultimately he lost his license, did prison time, and he came back out and he was doing it again, supposedly, allegedly. And he, that was his remedy when like the guy's like texting him pictures of it, and he said just take two sticks and tie it together, keep it straight, it'll heal better that way. And then he just stopped answering his texts after a while.
Anything funny or weird we're missing?
Well, the interesting thing is the defense lawyer for this woman actually represented another couple that was doing butt enhancements in their home in Hialeah. And that one was interesting because the victim in that case was a stripper, and she the reason it kind of came to light was because, from what I understanding, is there was a cop who was actually at a strip club and said, "Hey, what's going on with your butt? It's kind of like messed up." And that's sort of how the investigation got rolling. And those people are now, they're now on probation. They're convicted of all of that. So it's this huge industry that's kind of underground. I mean, it's crazy amount of money in South Florida.
What was the defense team's strategy?
Cooperate. She flipped. Let me tell you, she was close to, she could have done up to like 93 months to 35 years in prison if she'd gone to trial. And ultimately,
she got off light. Like, this is the most egregious thing I've seen in the history of the American justice system.
Yeah, as the lawyer said, she was facing a stiffer sentence, and she ended up only getting 40 months. But she's got to cooperate against the other doctor, so that's the trade-off.
David Ovalle with us. The headline in the Miami Herald: mangled penis leads to 40 months in prison for woman who performed illegal surgery. How prevalent is this in Miami? We are the capital for this, right? Like, there is Los Angeles. Nobody's got Colombia. Nobody's got us beat on this, right?
For illegal, yeah, man, it's huge. The irony is that case I was talking about with the stripper, who is the victim. When the cops raided that couple's home where they were doing this, there was actually a real medical doctor there who was taking his wife to get a procedure there. So it's like when they raided the house, man, it's big. And I've covered, 3 or 4 different deaths involving some of these illegal operations. And there's always different lawsuits and different it's huge. And a lot of it stems from our, sort of our relationship with Colombia. They actually will organize trips to go down to Colombia to get work done, and then sometimes they need to do the touch-ups and all that. So they'll do them here in homes, in living rooms, and warehouses.
The punishment for her should be what?
Well, the bottom of the sentencing guidelines was like 93 months. But, if that was my penis, I don't know, man. I don't know. It would be hard for me to want to get up and testify in court. So I can understand why the poor guy didn't really want to press it to trial. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be really hard. Can you explain to us the most you squirmed reading any one detail, being as careful as you can on the radio?
In this case, probably just the details of it retracting and, fluid backup and all this and I didn't even see the photos in this case. So, Lord help the lawyers who had to actually sit down and read all that stuff.
Yes or no, you used the phrase stiffer sentence on purpose?
Remember how you were talking the other day about how you would go to Marlins baseball players and kind of like you would just say something and they would repeat it back to you, and that was sort of the go-to thing. So I'm not going to lie, I kind of go to the defense lawyer into giving me that quote.
All right. Excellent. Excellent work. David Ovalle, thank you for being our weird correspondent, our news of the weird correspondent. Again, mangled penis leads to 40 months in prison for woman who performed illegal surgery. Do you have any other questions, Stugatz? Do you have anything else?
No, I'm good.
I've got a question. David, what is, your title? What is your beat?
Well, I'm technically the courts reporter, but I kind of just say all, crime and all things weird in Miami. And it's just, I'm telling you, man, this place is addicting to cover news in. I've had chances to go so many places, but I can't stay away, man. It's like
great.
an addicting drug. Yeah.
It is great. Thank you, David. We appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Man, you guys talk about some weird time for some ads.
This city is so wonderfully crazy. My father said ads there. Time for some ads. Warehouse. I mean, that kind of surgery in a warehouse.
Yeah.
I don't care how cheap it is. You can't. That's not the place where you go with discount surgery.
If you're going to get that surgery and you pull up and it's a warehouse, you immediately turn around and go back to where you came from.
Yeah.
That's
we talked to Jeezy the other day on the television show, and he talked about paying for some sort of vocal cord surgery with a brown bag filled with cash, like $65,000 or $70,000. You can't do it that way either, I would say, although he did. I love Wendy's.
Oh.
Man, do I love Wendy's. It's my favorite fast food. There is no better fast food than Wendy's. I defy you. I defy you to come up with anything better than Wendy's. Tell them, Stugatz.
Now is the perfect time to go. If you love Wendy's the way we do, try the Swiss Junior Bacon Cheeseburger as an option in Wendy's 4 for $4 combo for a limited time. Man, this sounds good, and it's affordable. This fresh, never frozen beef is topped with applewood smoked bacon, a slice of Swiss, hand-leafed lettuce, a fresh tomato, and a coat of ranch. Delicious. It's an option that goes great with a 4-piece nugget, small fry, and a drink, all for just $4. So head to Wendy's today and try the Swiss Junior Bacon Cheeseburger at participating Wendy's for a limited time.
Ah, buddy, this is the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio. Dan Le Batard.
Guillermo, you were here throughout the entirety of that. We talked to them for an hour. What did you think? You guys were listening. What did you guys think was the best thing in there?
Stugatz.
You weren't listening. Okay,
I mean,
good
there was
talking
so much
to you.
going on.
Okay, good talking to you. You weren't listening. Excellent work by you again, as always, Guillermo. You brought it strong, as always.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugatz on ESPN Radio.
If you missed any of the show, you can listen to all 3 hours of the Dan Le Batard Show on demand in the ESPN app, plus our Miami-only hour that airs before the show, and now you can subscribe to our best of podcasts. It's all available in the Listen tab of the ESPN app.
Many people are complaining because Ric Flair is going to join us in 15 minutes, and we're doing a lot of different stuff the last hour that's not World Series related. And all I would say to you is that ESPN is a menu, and almost everything at ESPN right now is serving World Series. And if you want it, you can get it anywhere on ESPN that you want it. And we've done a lot of it. We've done because I know yesterday was a great game. It was fun. I was calling my father. I was calling my friends during the game.
I was doing the same, and we did 90 minutes on it to start the show. And we're doing our show. This is, we're doing our show, man.
So now let's pick helmets out of a bucket with a Grim Reaper meant to signify death, who always falls out of character because she's clumsy and incompetent, but genderless, even though I just called her she. Now, strategy changes this week because Greg Cody's got the swap helmet. So if any of us pull the golden helmet of life 3 weeks of bye out the first try, he's got the Bills. Bills on Monday night or Sunday night, whenever it is, against the Seahawks. So he gets to swap anything good. So now it's even worse than it always is.
Yeah, there's no incentive. You got to put that puppy back because the golden helmet of life is essentially a Bills helmet, and it just means Greg is safe for 3 weeks.
Right. So here's what we've got. The way this works, and this is why Guillermo today is dressed as Ziggy Stardust. I'm supposed to do Bobby Petrino at some point. I thought I was going to do it this week, but I guess I'm going to do it next week. That's my debt. What is your debt? Do you have any debt?
No, I'm good. I did the selfie stick for an entire show yesterday, and that was my final debt. So
Mike, what is your debt?
Oh, man, I got so much. I got the 12 hours of Cage, and I got to dress up like Rick Steiner in a very revealing outfit.
Okay, you got to watch 12 straight hours of Nicolas Cage movies and Periscope it.
I am sorry, Mike. I have a Def Jam poetry thing to do, right?
Yeah,
2 minutes?
Yeah, you have to perform 2 minutes of a Def Poetry Jam.
Right.
Roy, what do you have?
I have a cryotherapy and a taquito
From a
from a gas station.
Okay, you got to eat a taquito from a gas station.
'Tis the season.
Okay,
People don't know the names. You got to explain after you say it. They're clever names.
Honest to God.
Tis the season. He has to sing Christmas carols up to random strangers, no matter the actual season.
Never mind. All right, let's pick from the bucket here. Unbelievable that Stugatz just has so many debts that he forgets them. Just forgets them.
What's a new one?
Forgets them.
Yep.
Guillermo, as Ziggy Stardust, is reaching into the bucket right now.
I got the Browns.
The Browns are +7 at home against the Cowboys. Throw that back. Go ahead and throw that right back.
Ooh, I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
By the way, this is Fat Chris's last week of safety. Golden Helmet of Life.
I got the Ravens.
All right, the Ravens are at home against the Steelers, 3-point favorite. Good enough. There's nothing good in there. That's as good as you're going to do. Like, it's not good, but it's...
Big Ben's out, and the Ravens, I believe, are coming off a bye. That's not a bad helmet.
All right, there you go. I mean, yeah, but...
Wait, is Big
Roy
Ben out?
is now selecting, not waiting for anybody. He's got the Houston Texans.
Bye week.
Bye week,
Bye
baby.
week. Nice job, Roy. Congratulations.
But right now, you are the clubhouse leader to be swapped with Greg Cody.
Right, Cody gets
So don't celebrate too hard.
Yep, I have
Or do you want to put it back?
Yeah,
gotta think about it.
You're going to... Yeah, that's it.
He's got to keep it, banking on somebody else to pull something better.
Okay, very good. Mike Ryan is now going to pick from the bucket of death. That's an interesting choice, Roy. Mike Ryan.
I have the Tennessee Titans.
The Titans are at the Chargers. They are a 4.5-point dog at San Diego.
Putting it back.
Yep.
Man, I am so scared of that double death and the fans' choice.
I hate
Just
all of it.
so scared.
All of it. Scared of all of it.
The New York Giants.
All right, so you are a 2.5-point favorite at home against the Eagles. It's not great, but whatever.
Coming off a bye. Could be worse.
I mean, yeah, it could be worse.
They've won for me once.
All right, so the Grim Reaper is now coming in here, and Stugatz is going to do that annoying thing that he does.
I like to rummage around in the bucket for a minute.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Is that right?
I'll rummage around here. Rummaging around. Here we go.
Rummage ring.
Rummaging. Here we go. I have a coin flip helmet.
Oh, very exciting. First time this helmet's been pulled. Now, if you decide to keep it,
Yes.
and remember, we have the Greg swap. He can decide to take this from you. Your fate, whether or not you face the grid of death, is a coin toss. You pick heads or tails.
I'm going to put that back.
Why would you want that? Why would he want that?
Come on, man. It's essentially a coin toss. I love the drama.
Why would I want
What the hell would anybody
50-50
what is
shot.
that? What is that?
Good helmet.
All right, here we go. I got the Colts.
All right, you are
Okay.
stuck with the Colts.
At Green Bay.
Packers. Oh,
It's okay. Wait, Chuck Pagano said that this is a defining moment for them.
all right. I feel better.
I'm picking here. I got the Cowboys. I'll keep the Cowboys.
Oh, congratulations, Dan.
Nice job.
Great pull.
Yeah, that's
So
You've had
Roy,
a really good year.
Yeah, you have a great year. Roy, you have the Bills, just so you know.
Just so you know, like, Cody's swapping with you.
Cowboys at the Browns. Your strategy, Roy. I mean, that's why there's nothing good in here, Roy. Nothing good in this damn godforsaken thing. Ric Flair joins us next.
You're listening to the Sweaty Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio. Dan Le Batard. Woo! Stugatz. Pooh! This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugatz on ESPN Radio.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. We're very excited for this. A legend is joining us next. It is Ric Flair who will be joining us on the Shell Pennzoil Performance Line. Here's your SportsCenter update. The Cubs won the World Series last night, took Game 7, 8-7 over the Indians in 10 innings. Ben Zobrist, World Series MVP, Cubs' first World Series championship since 1908. The Philadelphia Eagles have released wide receiver Josh Huff. And finally, scientists have discovered a jacuzzi of death under the Gulf of Mexico. This SportsCenter is brought to you by JCPenney. Hurry in and save up to 40% off all major appliances now with special financing. Plus, get free delivery on all major appliance purchases over $299. That's getting your pennies worth. JCPenney. For all the latest headlines and information, tune in to the SportsCenter on ESPN Radio all throughout the day.
Mike Ryan is so starstruck. He loves that he can text this guy. He loves that Ric Flair sends him back a muscle emoji because, of course, he does. Right. Mike Ryan is so excited right now. He's just giddy like a schoolgirl.
In Mike's defense, we're pretty excited for Ric Flair.
Yeah, of course. We love Ric Flair, and we need him as our celebrity prognosticator. We're down 3 games to Colin Cowherd. We've had a bad run. We're 20-20, so we're going to get Ric Flair to pick some games for us. Thank you, Rick, for making time for the show. I'm wondering if you're in agreement with some older wrestlers who have criticized the current generation of superstars for being too boring, too sober, too not fun.
Well, first of all, the problem I have, Dan, and I'm assuming I'm talking to you, right, Dan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, is that I have a daughter that works there. So I try to stay out of commenting on that. Let me put it like this. Some of the things you mentioned above, I'm not sure that I could have worked there right now. So
right.
Let's sum it up with that. First of all, I think the guys are, unfortunately, over-criticized with social media. I mean, if social media was around when I was wrestling in the 80s, I would be in jail.
Okay.
I mean, probably every other day.
Okay, very good. Because you were a notorious partier, right? Like wouldn't you buy?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get in trouble. I didn't get DUIs or anything that, but I had fun, and it's so easy to critique somebody today, and the company's just very conscious of social media. So, everybody has to be in their best behavior. But I will say this: the young guys that we have on this with the company right now are phenomenally talented, and they have their fun, but probably in a private place.
Well, how does this work? On Ric Flair, it's been reported that you'd buy 100 drinks a night. You just give them out to strangers. You were the life of the party.
yeah, well, that's probably true, but I'm not sure that works for me at the end of the day. It's kind of like as we discussed last time, my overly frequent marriages.
Yeah, it's not financially prudent. It's not that. Yeah,
it's not exactly within my financial manager's range. So I just couldn't listen to him.
So how does this work, though? On Ric Flair's best partying night, what does the tab look like?
Oh God, I'd like to talk about that. The biggest night I think I ever had. Like 11,000.
So what was your life like when you were using the private jet? Can you tell us what your life was like when you were flying by private jet?
The private jet, the nights were in Vegas, anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 a night. Chicago, 3,000 to 4,000. It depended on number one, what time the curfew was, or how late they stayed open. But we certainly had fun. We worked really hard, and I'm never ashamed of the fact that we had a lot of fun because we put the time in. I mean, as you know, Dan, we talked about Dan. For 15 years, I wrestled 365 days a year, twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday, with maybe, if I was lucky, depending on where I was as a world champion on Christmas, not even Christmas Eve off.
Well, and people might not know this about you, Rick. Like, you were always the first guy in the gym. Like, you might have been soaked in booze, and
that's right.
But you were always working hard.
First guy in the gym. People have at least paid me that respect. I never missed a workout because I knew that if I didn't do it first thing, I would procrastinate like I do now. As I've gotten older, I find a reason not to go, which is ridiculous. But it's so easy to say, well, I'm going to go to the gym today. I'm just going to do Dan Liptak show. The hell. So, I mean, I can find a reason not to go, but I still take it very seriously. Fitness is important for everybody, and God's given me this gift of great health, and I don't want to abuse it. So everything's good.
What part of your body hurts the most, Rick?
Nothing isn't, and that drives people crazy.
Really?
I just went to the University of Pittsburgh for the annual physical that the company requires for concussion, heart, all the A and above. I don't have any implants. I've had 2 rotator cuff surgeries. Neither one of them bothered me at all. I can still do 60-pound seated shoulder presses. I can bench press, not 300, but close. If I wanted to train harder, still bench press 300. My legs don't bother me. My knees don't bother me. And
How is that possible?
I don't know, because it drives them crazy. These doctors at these physicals
Whoa!
pick me apart.
That's how.
Think about the airplane crash. I mean, they told me I'd never be able to wrestle again. Then they told me I'd have arthritis, the rest of my life, and I feel great. So God gave me a gift.
You messed around with the airplanes, right? You guys were a little bit reckless flying those airplanes, weren't you?
We were very reckless.
Can you?
Well, the guy that was flying the plane we crashed in didn't have a license, unbeknownst to us. It killed him and paralyzed Bob Ruggers and Johnny Valentine, and I broke my back in 3 places. David Crockett, it will never be the same from a concussion issue. I mean, he's good now, but he's never been the same after that. And Tim Woods, God rest his soul, walked out of the plane. So it was a very unfortunate situation, but we had a lot of high spots in those private planes. Not so much in the jet, but the old twin-engine King Airs and stuff like that.
Ric Flair with us on ESPN Radio, the Nature Boy. You've had a fascinating life, and it starts from the very beginning, right? The orphanage, you've written about this in your book. The orphanage that you were a part of had a stolen baby situation. Like, you don't know. What is your backstory with that orphanage?
Well, I just know what I was told, by my mom and dad. And then, of course, when my parents passed away, they gave me all the information. But it's funny. Everybody wants to know why, my ex-wife wanted to know, one of them, excuse me.
One of your ex-wives.
Wanted to know why I wasn't interested in my medical history. And actually, she would get mad. But I had no desire to go back and find out, who my parents were. I was born in Memphis, Tennessee. And my parents I was lucky enough to be adopted by were the best parents in the world. And they were dealt a bad card.
You were bad. Were you a bad kid?
I wasn't a bad kid, but I had fun. I was like, I didn't do things that, I was never malicious, but I did try to buy liquor underage. I did ride my motorcycle around the sidewalk at the lake when they were out of town. I was like, I'll put it like this. The last time I was in front of the judge, he said, next time you're back here, young man, bring a toothbrush because you're going to reform school. So I said, yes, sir.
I love this guy. I've got a couple of rapid-fire questions for you because I've got a million questions, but we don't have enough time. Do you regret at all the Black Scorpion period? Where you were wrestling with a mask.
Oh, I hated it. My God! But man, that card was dealt to me, and actually, they wanted Barry Windham to do it, and I said, guys, I'm not going to ask Barry Windham to do it. I'll do it. The hell.
Yeah. Okay. Terrible time. That's okay though. I don't want to relive.
But Dan, what you should have seen me wearing my Black Scorpion robe around the St. Louis Marriott afterwards. It was very entertaining.
About the lobby of the hotel? You were wearing the Black Scorpion robe? You were wearing the mask and nothing else?
Just the robe and mask. That's it.
How about
You know.
now you've had a very accomplished career, but what the hell happened in Raw in 2002? How the hell did you lose to Rico? Like what hell? What the hell? The hell?
How did I lose to Rico? I'm so sorry. Like, ask Jack Lanza.
What the hell, man?
And you're Ric Flair, man.
1 week up and 1 week down. You know what I mean?
I mean, huge upset. One of the biggest in the history of sports. Like, I don't know how that doesn't go down like with the 1980 Olympic hockey team and Mike Tyson. Like, how'd you lose to Rico?
I know. Well, you know what I call those guys that I put over in those days? Where are they now? The whole collection of them. Where are they now?
All right, we need him to win.
They're not on your show.
No.
Yes.
Well, I'd never talk to Rico.
Yes.
I'd never. That's bull bleep what they did with Rico.
Why would you?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and play Celebrity Prognosticator with Ric Flair.
Okay.
And now it is time for Celebrity Prognosticator. Let's win some money.
Jets at the Dolphins. Dolphins minus 3.5. Who you got?
I'm taking the Dolphins.
Philadelphia at the Giants. Giants minus 2.5. Who you got?
Philadelphia.
Detroit at Minnesota. Minnesota minus 6. Who you got?
Minnesota.
Pittsburgh at Baltimore. Baltimore minus 3. Ric Flair has got.
I got to go with my good friend, Coach John Harbaugh. I'm going to go with the Ravens.
Big Ben is back. Do you care? Because we gave you Ben.
Is Ben back?
Yeah, we get Ben.
Let me flip flop then. I didn't know Ben was playing. He's a good friend. So I'm going to go with Pittsburgh.
What happened to your good friend Harbaugh? What happened?
I think he just said Roethlisberger's
What
a good
happened?
friend.
Good friend. What happened?
But, I've known Big Ben longer.
Okay, very good. Denver at Oakland. Pick 'em.
I'm taking Denver.
Okay, Rick.
Hey, you know what? I know I want to say this. Let me rethink that too.
Okay.
Because my picks are based on relationships. I'm really good friends with, I know Jack Del real well. I'm going to go with Oakland. I'm really happy that program has gotten better.
All right, very good.
Nice.
I'm going from the heart. Go ahead.
Well, you have our heart. And while you're not a trained monkey, you know how we want this interview to end, right?
What's that?
Well, we want the signature.
Oh, you want me to? Let me walk outside here. I'm in a public establishment.
Oh, inside would have been even
Wait,
better.
what about the game tonight between the Falcons and the Buccaneers?
All right,
Right.
bonus game. Go
Bonus
ahead and
game.
give
Who
it
you
to
got?
us. Who
Who
you
you got?
like?
I'm taking the Falcons, man.
All right,
Right.
Falcons minus 4. Bonus pick there. He's going to walk outside of the establishment here just to give us a
Okay,
signature.
I'm here right now.
right,
Do you want me to give you the whole spiel?
Oh, please,
Everything.
please, we would love
Please.
that. We're going to back
Dan
off.
Batard, this is the Nature Boy Ric Flair, 16 times your world heavyweight champion, the limousine riding, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, jet flying son of a gun that is so honored to have been a guest on your show. Ladies and gentlemen, Nature Boy, Dan Batard. Woo!
This is the Dan Levatar Show on ESPN Radio.
Ferguson, the right people, the right products, right around the corner. Visit Ferguson.com today.
Dan Levatard.
Oh, Shlomo.
Stugats.
Come on, Shlomo.
This is the Dan Levatar Show with the Stugats on ESPN Radio.
A texter writes in here, ask Bomani if it's okay to make fun of him about what just happened here. Just ask him or ask him to come on the radio here. A texter writes in, I immediately picture someone getting out of their car and walking past Ric Flair right now going WTH. That happened somewhere. Someone was...
Oh, no doubt.
Someone looks outside and their window and they see Ric Flair shouting into his phone and just going, woo, woo. Bomani Jones in here with us. I want to talk some World Series here, but let's see if we can make fun of him about what just happened there, because I don't know what just happened. I smelled something delicious, and then Stu got...
Well, Bomani's eating my lunch. I mean, that's what's happening here.
Every day y'all offer me the food that seems to be part of y'all's little contract after y'all get off work. Yeah. And normally I don't take it. But today I didn't have time to eat lunch before I got to the show, and I never do TV without food, so I just went to work.
And that's fine, but today's the day I didn't offer you my lunch.
Well,
or any of it.
I feel like I've carried you at different points where the least you can do is give me a chicken finger.
I'm cool giving you a chicken finger. In fact, you can have 2 of them. Mm-hmm. I just prefer you ask me if you can have a chicken finger.
It is funny because normally what we offer you is a spread of food. It's not just a single, like, four chicken fingers. Did you think that was feeding all of us?
I had no idea. I didn't know if it was a bunch of chicken fingers beforehand. I didn't really have that. I would also like to make the note that while I understand that you would prefer that I ask, I feel like the whole baseline of this is nobody caring about what you would prefer. So I'm just trying to fit in.
Okay, well, it was a very funny visual for me. You're saying hello to me with one of my chicken fingers in your hand, and the other half of it is in your mouth.
As far as I knew, it was a chicken finger. You know, like I could only work with the information that I had.
Are you under the impression that we have a contract that feeds us?
I thought y'all were like Kornheiser. Where Kornheiser got in his contract that they bring that sandwich to his desk every day.
Does he have that actually?
I'm pretty sure that is in his contract, that they bring a Jimmy John sandwich to his desk every day, which, I mean...
What a great clause.
Yeah, if we're going to be honest about this, that's the pettiest thing you could possibly do when you're actually rich. Because I'm sure you could set up the app, and they'll bring the bad boy to you every day.
I love that, A, you still smell like chicken fingers, and B, are still chewing chicken fingers.
I mean, that's what happens when I'm eating a chicken finger and somebody pulls me in before I get a swig of water or anything, you know?
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're still chewing my lunch.
I mean, would you like what's left? I can give it to you right now.
No, but I mean, there's actually another. I think there's another 2 out there. So if you'd like another one, I'm happy to.
Appreciate you. I'll take it.
You got it, man.
I don't like to do TV on an empty stomach. You don't get the best me that way.
Did you last through the rain delay last night? A lot of people gave up on the game at the rain delay.
Actually, I was unaware of the rain delay until about a half hour ago. I saw most of this game. Right? Like, I feel very confident about saying I watched this game. But there was definitely some dozing that took place. I think I saw all the runs Chapman gave up. I didn't see the half inning in between. And I did not see the final out. But I saw the Cubs on the field, 2016 World Series champions. So I did my best.
Did you love it? Did you enjoy it?
It was a great game.
Yeah, it was awesome.
That was incredible. I mean, look, as a Braves fan, I felt bad for the Cleveland folks because I was like, oh, I know how this feels. You guys just aren't going to win, right? Like when you give up that run and then you get one right back to tie it up, I'm like, nope, that's tease. And it felt that whole way, except they kept it all the way through. And in the end, I think we got what's probably the most entertaining outcome, which is Cleveland fans back to being miserable like they didn't just win a championship in June. Why? Because when you're generally unhappy, it doesn't stop just because something good happened to you.
It's crazy that they went from that close. It's crazy when you think about it in these terms. They just got the glory of LeBron, and now you get the most crushing loss imaginable, that while that close to ending the drought, now you have the longest drought in the sport because Chicago. Now you've gone to being the biggest loser again in that sport historically.
I'm here for it.
LeBron doesn't soften that a little bit? That championship doesn't soften what happened last night?
No, it softens it some, but the ratings on these playoff games have been higher than the ratings were for those basketball playoff games. Like, this means more to that city. And to be fair, the Cavs are newer, right? So this goes back. They've been here before, because a lot of that stuff with Cleveland seems to be tied to the idea we used to be on top, and now we're going to get back there one day, right? And so they won in 48. That's the one. If the Browns won, it would be way bigger than anything else. But no, they got that Cavs. I think they're happy about it. But, man, they got to be sad today.
This is crushing. It's crushing.
And I'm here for it. I'm always here for it.
It is crushing. It is crushing to be up 3-1, to be that close. You get so much of your identity from being a sports town. You got to be a winner for a couple of months.
And then next week, you got the election, which is certainly going to crush somebody's heart in a way that makes me fear for my safety.
Where's the dead fish?
I don't understand.
It's just a dead fish when we're having fun with something, and then like something comes.
Nah, I'm having fun with that, too. I recommend everybody take the day off work after the election. I don't think you want to be around strangers. I don't understand why y'all can't laugh at it. I find it to be uproarious.
We could laugh at it. We laugh when the dead fish makes an appearance.
I don't understand y'all little dead fish.
You ate my lunch.
I'm going to eat some more.
I'm surprised you didn't eat the dead fish.
We will talk to you mañana. This was the Dan Le Batard Show on ESPN Radio.